Hi friends, today I am going to explain one of the most important concepts in object-oriented programming, that is overriding in Java. As we all know that the methods inherited from a parent class are automatically available to the child class. This is what we call inheritance in Java. However, if the child class is not satisfied with the parent class implementation, it has the freedom to redefine the method as per its requirement. This process is called overriding. So, if we have methods in parent class, if the child class is not satisfied with the body of that particular methods, it can redefine the body of that methods. So, that redefining the methods body is called overriding. We are overriding that particular method. So, the the child class can override them by redefining the logic while keeping the exact method signature. As I have discussed, method signature involves method name and parameters. So the method signature should be same while we are overriding that particular methods. So let's see the example in Visual Studio. Let's create a Java file main.java, and here we take the parent class with some methods, and here I take the method wake up, and parent class method wake up says that wake up at wake up at 5 a.m. and class child is extending this parent extends parent. So here the wake up method is automatically available to the child class, but the child is not satisfied with this method waking up at 5 a.m. So he can override the method with the same method signature with keeping the same method signature. Here child says that, here it is not error, it is out. So here child says that System.out.println wake up at 8 a.m. So child is overriding that particular wake up method. So child is redefining his own body for that particular method. So this is what we call overriding in Java. So while we are overriding, some people keep override annotation. So most of the people doesn't know what is override annotation. Override annotation says that it checks whether the method signature for these two methods are same or not. Here, this method is being overridden. So whenever we keep add override, the followed method is being overridden. It confirms that the followed method is overridden. So if we change the any signature, it raises an error because this method is being overridden. So this annotation says that this method is being overridden. The exact match is not present inside the parent, so it raises an error. If we keep the override annotation, it doesn't see any error here. It considered it as another method. So while we are overriding, we are safe to keep this annotation. It checks whether the method is matching exact or not, and it checks for some errors. That is, if this method is overloaded or not. So this add override checks for the exact match for the signature. And here this method is overridden. So we are overriding parent plus wake up method, that is wake up at 5 a.m. to wake up at 8 a.m. Here child is overriding that method. So this is what we call overriding. So how we call the overridden methods? Let's see. Here to call the method inside the parent, we have to take the parent object only. Parent p is equals to new parent. Here the reference is parent and the object is parent. Runtime object is parent and the its holding reference is also parent. So if we call p.wakeup, it calls the parent. It calls the method inside the parent class. So Java main.java, it should compile fine, and Java main, it prints wake up at 5 a.m. So here the reference is parent and the object is parent. In overriding, the method resolution takes care only by seeing the runtime object, that is the right part of the equal sign. So it is the parent. So here the runtime object is parent, so it calls the parent method. Here the output is wake up at 5 a.m. If we change the runtime object to the child, so now what will happen? Here the reference is parent, but the runtime object is child. So whenever we call p.wakeup, it calls the method inside the child class. So if we clear the console and if we compile the code, it compiles fine. And if we run the code, it prints the output as wake up at 8 a.m. So it goes with the runtime object. So wake up at 8 a.m. is the output. Here it purely checks the runtime object for method resolution overriding. So if we take the child object, reference is child and object is child. And if we call the wake up method, here the runtime object is child, so it again goes with the child wake up only. So if I compile the code, it compiles fine. And if I run the code, it prints wake up at 8 a.m. It goes with the child only. So here wake up at 8 a.m. is the output. But if the child doesn't have wake up method, what will happen? Here I am wake up method is commenting, and here I am creating a child object. So child object and the wake up method is not present inside the child. So it it raises an error or it will print wake up at 5 a.m. Let's see. As I have told in inheritance video, all the methods which are present inside the parent are to be available to the inside the child. So although this method is not appearing in the child class, it is already present inside the child also. So here wake up method is automatically present inside the child class because it extends the parent. So it inherits all the properties from the parent. So this wake up method is also present in the child class. So whenever we are creating the child object and inside the child wake up method is already there, we are not overridden. We are commenting this overridden and we are calling wake up method inside the child, that is runtime object. So whenever we compile the code, it compiles fine. It doesn't raise any error. Whenever we run the code, it prints wake up at 5 a.m. only. We are not overriding that method. So it prints wake up at 5 a.m. only. If we are overriding, so that particular method is being overridden. So here, if we are overriding, it calls the wake up at 8 a.m. So if we compile the code, it compiles fine. And if we run the code, it calls wake up at 8 a.m. So this is how overriding works in Java and the method resolution works in Java. And if we take the child reference. And if you want to hold the parent object, it raises an error. It is invalid. So let's take C1. It is invalid. It says that cannot convert parent to child. We can convert child to parent, but the parent P is equal to new child is valid, but child C1 is equal to new parent is invalid. This is invalid syntax. You should remember this. So this is not valid. So this is how overriding works in Java, and this is how method resolution works in overriding. So let's see some short notes. And here it is another example. I'm taking a class animal and make sound, some generic animal sound. If the class dog extends animal, it can override make sound method, and it prints dog barks. So extending the inherited class can override the make sound method. And if cat class extends animal, it can again override the make sound method, and it says cat meows. The meow meow sound, it's being overridden. So here the method resolution, and let's see some note. In overriding, method resolution isn't decided compile time. It's the JVM that takes charge, dynamically linking the method based on the runtime object. That's why overriding is also known as runtime polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism, or rate binding. Let's say what is runtime object. If we are creating any object, let's create an object of test class. Here, the left side part is called reference type, that is compile time, and right side right side part is called runtime object. So, in overriding method resolution is taken care by runtime object only, not by the reference type. You should remember this. So, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.